Maybe it's the excess amount of tequila and wine I've ingested this past year, but I've never been so desperate for vulnerability to expose myself to the uncomfortable unknown while stepping out of the normality of my everyday regimen in regards to my dating habits. Or lack thereof, in some cases. Entering this year with a heavy amount of grief, self-pity, and pathetic whining about the loss of my 3-year relationship is what set me down into a downward spiral of self-loathing while I coated a great deal of numbing agent, alcohol, down my throat. I spent entirely too much time and energy worrying if I'd find myself in the arms of a man who made me as happy as my former. Too much effort spent in comparing each face I met with a list of qualities I'd like to see mirrored in front of me. Does he make stupid noises like I do? Is he artistically inclined? Can he make me laugh? I mean, really, really laugh? Does he have a beard that I can rub my cheeks on when it's cold? Is he into my butt? Does he have a nice butt? Does he have the drive to succeed in his personal goals? Will he watch Mrs. Doubtfire with me 10 times in a row? What about music? Will he listen to my array of tunes without any annoyance? From Cher to repetitive Fleetwood Mac, from Miriam Makeba and Alkaline Trio? Then let me dance like an idiot as a song by the Smiths comes on at numbers? Will he listen to me laugh without pointing out my snort? After hours of late night dancing at bars, will he let me stumble into bed with him so I can fall asleep on his chest while listening to the rhythm of his heartbeat? Oh, girl, please. How I gave up this ideal checklist ages ago. Realistically, he would only watch Mrs. Doubtfire once with me as he is trying to look good. He'll grow annoyed with my constant quotations of the screenplay and ask me to stop, but not before attempting to Netflix and chill my butt with a nice butt rub on the couch. After about a week of dating, he will shave off his outdated No Shave November beard to reveal a sore-looking face underneath. He'll ask me who Alkaline Battery is and ask me to play that one band who is featured in American Horror Story Coven. Clever and original as he is, he will point out my snort while mockingly making pig noises. He'll tell me I drink too much and let me know I can divert myself from crashing at his after I've gone out that evening. I'll lay in bed, ashamed that I fell into another false relationship of initial swooning followed by instant disgust. I've done my fair share of dating recently. I played the game and the game played me. I absolutely hate dating, but found myself eager to experiment with dating outside of my comfort zone. The term opposites attract could be true, I thought to myself. I'm dating the wrong type of guys. But then, what are the right guys? I challenged this question while jumping blindly into numerous situations and too many bad dates. When I found myself hanging out late night in East Downtown Houston at a grungy bar, winning sex-related tokens while playing bingo with my former boyfriend's current girlfriend's former boyfriend, I know I did something wrong. There's only one reason he and I were connecting, and it was merely on the disbelief that our exes blindsided the both of us by getting together. Me whining about how I'll never find another guy like him. He pushing the negativity of the whole ordeal out in the open while talking my ear off about how much he hates them. First, I found it rather funny, all the stories he had to say about his ex, but after listening to the same remarks over and over, I caught myself disgusted with his constant pessimism, but not enough to leave. That's my first mistake. My second mistake was not standing by my initial words to him that he had no chance with me just because of our shitty circumstances. His pessimism grew on me, creating a bad taste in my mouth that could only be washed out with lover's spit. Minus the lover, plus the ignorance of not keeping track of how much alcohol I drank. Watching the tiki glasses pile up between the two of us, I decided to call it quits for the evening. But not before biking back to his place to find ourselves quarreling our insecurities through our drunken kissing. Letting things get too heated was my third mistake, and ultimately my saving grace. While I knew I was not going to sleep with him, this did not stop me from allowing him to slip a hand down my denim skinny jeans and past my sheer panties. While he fiddled his hand around, I found myself completely in my mind as I juggled how to explain to my girlfriends the next day. When instantaneously he says, "Does your G-spot always feel that hard?" Back in the moment, I'm horrified to recall the sour tampon seeping chunks of blood in my vagina. That was no G-spot, buddy. But I had to play it cool and responded with an almost cocky, "Yeah, and?" Then proceeded to pull away from him, straighten my outfit, and leave as if I'm annoyed that he would call me out on my tough G-spot. I knew all too well it was the perfect timing to sneak out of having to explain that he's been fingering my menstrual blockage for the past few seconds. Quite frankly, too many seconds too long. Too easy to not have to explain the smell coming off his fingers when he nonchalantly whipped his hand after I left, as some of us do after having a sexual experience. Why do we do this anyway? I stopped my bike in the back of my car and drove around the corner of his block. Putting my car in park, I leaned my head back as I rolled my eyes towards the back of my head. What exactly was I doing? This was only the beginning of a string of crappy dates I've put myself through since. Nowhere did I find near someone wanting someone worth a second date, worth a Mrs. Doubtfire marathon or Stevie Nicks sing-along. What I did find out is that it takes about 15 minutes of laying on my back with my legs in the air against the bathroom sink while juggling a mirror in one hand and my other hand scooping out the pruned tampon that has been lodged in the back of my vagina from the night before. Word of advice, relax. It makes everything in life come a little easier. From relaxing my vagina muscles to grab that pesky cotton stick, to relaxing my anxiety about being replaced in order to focus my anguish toward things that actually matter. Enjoying the past as it is, and accepting the future without any expectations holding me back. Reminder to self, I will never find a mate playing sex toy bingo with my former boyfriend's current girlfriend's former boyfriend. What the fuck was I thinking?